You wake to a quiet alarm that never stops, a low, humming insistence beneath your ribs, the kind of ache you can name but rarely say out loud. Even in a room that looks fine, your mind finds reasons to be alert. You're always scanning, always mapping exits, always rehearsing conversations that may never happen. It's exhausting and invisible, like carrying a flashlight that never dims. This vigilance did something important. It kept you alive when the world felt unsafe. That reflex to prepare, to tighten, to anticipate danger is not a failing. It is an adaptation that made you resilient. But adaptations have costs. Your jaw holds tension like a secret, your shoulders raise before you notice, and the silence around you feels thin, suspicious even, as if calm might be the precursor to chaos. You try the things people recommend: lists, sleep hygiene, thought stopping, and some help in the moment. But the real work is quieter and slower, learning that your nervous system can be taught to lower the volume on that alarm. Not with a single trick, but by small, steady practices that build a new layer of safety inside you. Notice a breath. Name a feeling without judgment. Let a pause stretch a beat longer than it wants to. These tiny acts begin to rewire what your body expects from the present. Softening doesn't mean forgetting what made you vigilant. It means letting your body remember kindness in addition to caution. It's about reclaiming the permission to rest, slowly and deliberately, so the alarm can stop defining every moment. I want to know something simple and important. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? You don't have to have a neat answer. A year, a place, a fleeting memory. Anything you share matters. Drop it in the comments, even if it's just a guess. In the next video, we'll continue this conversation and explore one gentle practice to help your nervous system begin to settle. You carry that quiet alarm like a secret you weren't supposed to know. It's there before your feet touch the floor, a low, steady hum under your ribs that colors everything. On paper, your life looks orderly. Calendar full, messages answered, obligations met. In your chest, the world still feels like it might tilt. You scan without deciding to. Your mind catalogs the exits in a coffee shop, the tone behind an email, the slight delay in a partner's text. You prepare for things that haven't happened yet because it's safer than being surprised. That readiness kept you from falling apart once. It taught you to notice danger and act. Call it survival. Call it adaptation. It was not weakness. It was a response that helped you keep going. But adaptation has a price. Your jaw holds tension like a clenched promise. Your shoulders live up by your ears. Quiet moments float by feeling thin, like a net with holes. Rest becomes suspicious. Is this real, or the calm right before something breaks? Sleep can be shallow. Your attention is lit up in the middle of the night with rehearsals of conversations, future plans, things unsaid. You know it's exhausting, and part of you resents how much energy this takes. Notice this without judgment. Pause. Take one slow breath. Feel the air enter and leave. Let your attention move from the list of tasks to the sensations in your body. That small attention is the beginning of a different story, not a fix, just a gently widening space where safety can be learned again. You don't need to have an answer for why this started. You don't even need to trace a single origin. What matters is what you do next. See the alarm, name it, and practice the quiet act of coming back to now. Over time, those small returns signal to your nervous system that this moment is not a threat. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Tell me in the comments, even if you don't know. In the next video, we'll explore gentle, practical steps to help your body recognize safety again. You carry it like a folded map in your pocket, an outline of where danger might be, even when the streets are quiet. At work, it shows up as a tightness behind your eyes when a calendar pings. At home, it's the small, automatic checks, doors, windows, messages. You call it being careful, but it's more than preparation. It's a constant background hum that makes decision-making heavier, conversations more guarded, sleep thinner. Your body learned this language because it helped you survive a hard moment. That's important to say out loud. This is adaptation, not failure. Still, adaptations have costs. You notice your jaw clenching by midday, your shoulders wired under any small surprise. Your thoughts find the worst possible outcomes with an ease that used to be reserved for real emergencies. Over time, that ease becomes the default. You stop trusting rest. You start measuring every silence by what it could hide. There are also quiet consequences that leak into things you care about. Small joys get edged out by worry. Time with friends feels like another task to manage. At meetings, you're parsing tone and micro-expression for hidden signals. You do more, plan more, and ask for less, because asking feels risky. Burnout whispers that there's never enough margin to soften. Begin by noticing where the alarm sits in your body right now. Don't try to fix it. Just name it. A tight chest, a buzzing behind the sternum, a low-lying tension like a sweater you forgot on. Naming pulls the instinct slightly into the light. It doesn't erase the noise, but it makes space beside it. There's a gentle possibility here. You can teach your nervous system new patterns, slowly and without pressure. You don't need to get over it. You can learn to live with a quieter baseline. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Share a line in the comments, even if you don't have an answer yet. In the next video, we'll explore one simple practice to begin that retraining, step by careful step. You carry the quiet alarm like a familiar ache, low in your chest, behind your ribs, always there like a shadow you've learned to ignore. That vigilance helped you survive. It kept you sharp, ready, and aware when the world demanded it. But now it's doing extra work you don't need, scanning rooms, rehearsing conversations, tightening your jaw before a meeting even starts. Pause with me for a moment. Take 3 slow breaths. Not to fix anything, just to notice where your breath lives in your body. What tenses first? Your shoulders, your throat, the back of your neck. Naming it softens the edge. I notice my jaw is tight, or I feel the pull across my chest. This tiny, curious naming is not solving the problem instantly. It's a gentle way of showing your nervous system that you are paying attention without alarm. You've probably learned to minimize your own fatigue, to keep going because there's always one more email, one more errand, one more person who needs you. That endurance is honest and brave, but it also trains your body to stay on. The good news is your system can learn differently, not by force, but by consistent, small signals, regular pauses, steady breath, and the quiet witness of awareness. Over time, those small signals tell your body, right now it's okay. You don't have to find a dramatic origin story to begin. Sometimes the first memory is clear, a night that changed everything, a relationship, or a work crisis. Other times it's a fog, 100 little resets that built the alarm. Either way, curiosity beats blame. Ask yourself gently, when did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? If the moment comes to mind, hold it without judgment. If it does not, that's okay too. Share one small thing in the comments. A memory, an age, a season, or even I don't know. Your words matter here. In the next video, we'll keep moving slowly, learning how to teach your nervous system that some moments are safe. You carry that quiet alarm with you today. Maybe it lives behind your mouth, a jaw that never quite unclenches. Maybe it sits in your chest like a small, persistent tightness. Maybe it's the way your thoughts sprint when someone knocks on the door. Whatever shape it takes, it's worth naming, not to fix it instantly, but to give it room to be seen. Try this now, gently. Pause where you are and scan your body from head to toe. Don't judge. Just notice. What is the first place that feels anything? Tight, heavy, buzzing, numb? Name it to yourself. That naming is the first small signal you can send to your nervous system. You are noticing. You are curious. You are not being swept away. Safety isn't a switch you flip. It's a language you relearn with small, repeatable cues. Start with tiny experiments that say this moment is tolerable. For example, orient. Look around and silently name 3 things you can see, 2 things you can hear, 1 thing you can feel against your skin. This anchors you to the present. Soften the edges. Let your jaw unclench. Drop your shoulders an inch and breathe out slowly. A longer, gentle exhale. Do this 3 times and notice any change, however small. Track, don't judge. When your mind races, mark it, thinking, and return to 1 breath or 1 sense. You might not feel safe right away. That's okay. Each tiny practice is a signal to your body that not every alarm means danger. Over time, the signal grows louder than the leftover panic. Curiosity helps more than force. Treat this like an experiment. What happens when you name the sensation? What softens when you breathe out longer? Notice without expecting a full transformation. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Share it in the comments, even if you don't have a clear answer. I read them, and your experience matters. In the next video, We'll gently build on these experiments and learn small, predictable cues you can use throughout the day to slowly teach your nervous system that right now can be safe. You carry that quiet alarm like a small animal under your ribs, alive, restless, easy to ignore until it demands attention. It shaped you. It kept you moving, ready, responsible. That same part of you learned how to read danger in tiny cues. A sharp look, a change in tone, a missed message. It taught you to prepare. That skill is not failure. It's survival. But survival has its price. Your jaw stores conversations you didn't finish. Your shoulders memorize the weight of yesterday. Calm moments feel thin, like glass you're afraid to touch. Even when the day looks safe, your body sends you alerts that don't match the room. That mismatch is confusing and lonely. You wonder if everyone else rests easier, and you tuck that thought away to avoid making waves. Right now, take a breath. Not the kind you force, but the kind you notice. Slow in, gentle out. Notice where that alarm lives today. Is it in your chest, your throat, your stomach? Name it. Naming softens it a little, not because the problem disappears, but because you make the invisible visible. That visibility gives you choice. Here's a question that's quieter than it seems. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Maybe it was a series of small things, a comment at work, a move, a loss. Maybe it was one clear moment that shifted everything. Maybe you don't have an answer yet, and that's okay. You don't need to solve it now. You only need to be curious. If you can, write the first moment that comes to mind in the comments below. Even a fragment, a place, a year, a feeling is enough. Your memory might be messy. It might be protective. Share what feels possible, not perfect. Your words could be a small mirror for someone else who thought they were the only one listening to an alarm that never stops. In the next video, we'll begin to map small, gentle steps your nervous system can learn to feel safe again. We'll move slowly, without pressure. For now, notice, name, and breathe. You've lived inside that low hum for so long it feels like part of you. The background noise that tells you to check the doors, rehearse the conversation, hold your breath until the moment passes. It's not just in your head. It's under your skin, a tightness across your collarbones, a clenched jaw you don't remember closing, a gut that never fully settles. Those sensations are honest signals, not failures. They're your system doing the job it learned how to do. Begin by naming one of those sensations right now. Where do you feel the alarm most clearly? Is it a weight in your chest, a tightness behind your eyes, a restlessness in your hands? Give it a simple label: tightness, buzzing, alert. When you name it, you create a little distance from it. You're not the tightness. You're the person noticing the tightness. This is the first kind of retraining. Small, deliberate noticing. It's not about forcing calm or erasing every worry. It's about teaching your body that noticing is safe. You can look at the feeling without jumping to fix it. You can breathe with it. You can let yourself be curious about what it's like to feel something and still choose one small, comforting response. A slow exhale, a softening of the shoulders, a hand on your heart. Change happens in tiny increments. Think of your nervous system like muscle memory. Repeated gentle experiences build new pathways. Today's act of noticing and softening becomes tomorrow's easier pause. Over weeks, those pauses become less foreign. You'll start to catch yourself before the alarm lifts you into full alert. That's growth. It's not dramatic. It's durable. You don't need the full story of why this all began to start this work. You only need one honest observation. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Share it in the comments. Even a guess, even a moment you can't fully name. In the next video, we'll practice a short, quiet way to sit with that alarm, step by step. You carry that alarm like a private weather system, always a forecast of tension before the day begins. It nudges you awake, keeps you checking, keeps your shoulders braced. You have learned to live inside that vigilance. It's been useful. It has kept you moving forward when everything else felt uncertain. But usefulness does not erase weariness. Notice how your body tells the story. A tightness at the base of your skull, a clench in your jaw, breath hovering just under full. Your thoughts speed up to meet the perceived danger, rehearsing worst-case scenarios like a script you can't stop reading. You don't always need convincing that something might go wrong. Your body supplies the conviction for you. That constant readiness becomes background noise, and over time it starts to sound like the only safe channel. Here's a different way in. Curiosity, not condemnation. You don't need to fix everything in one sitting. Start by naming what's happening without judgment. My chest feels tight. My mind is racing. Say it out loud or write it down. Naming is a small, radical act because it shifts something from an amorphous threat to a describable experience. That tiny separation, word from feeling, gives you a sliver of choice. Try a gentle experiment. For 1 minute, let your shoulders drop on purpose. Not to force calm, but to gather data. Notice what changes and what doesn't. Sometimes the nervous system answers slowly. Sometimes it answers in small increments that, when stacked, rewrite what safety feels like. You are rebuilding trust with your body, and that's a process with no tidy timeline. It asks for patience, curiosity, and consistent, compassionate practice. Be curious about your thresholds and gentle when you reach them. Curiosity will teach you more than self-criticism ever could. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Tell me in the comments, even if you don't have the answer. I'll read them. In the next video, we'll keep stepping forward, slowly and together. You carry that quiet alarm with you, a low hum under the ribs that reminds you to scan, to stay ready. It's become part of how you move through the day, checking the exits in your mind, imagining worst-case timelines, carrying a to-do list like armor. That constant readiness kept you safe once. It made you resourceful and resilient. But it also wears you thin. Right now, let yourself notice how your body answers that hum. Feel the weight in your shoulders, the tightness in your jaw, the way your breath shortens when a message pops up. You don't need to change anything yet. Observation is the first step. Name one sensation, tight shoulders, fluttering chest, tense throat, and give it a quiet nod. Naming softens the charge. You can practice small, steady invitations to your nervous system. Try a slow breath in to 4, then a longer breath out to 6. Not to fix everything in one go, but to show your body what safety can resemble, a breath that is steady, predictable, and kind. After a few cycles, scan from your feet to your face. Where does the alarm still sit? Where does it shift or dissolve? Remember, safety isn't a switch the outside world flips for you. It's a skill your body relearns in tiny, repeated moments. It's the practice of noticing before reacting, of choosing a slower response when panic wants to spike. Some days you'll feel a little softer. Some days you'll still be taut as a wire. Both are part of the work. You don't have to answer this perfectly, or even now. I'm curious. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Drop a short note in the comments. A moment, a memory, or even, I don't know. Your words can be the quiet start of a different rhythm. In the next video, we'll sit with that question a little longer, slowly exploring how to teach your nervous system new signals of safety. You've been carrying that quiet alarm for so long it almost feels like part of you. It shows up as a tightened jaw, a racing checklist, the tiny voice that scans every doorway for exits. That vigilance kept you safe once, and it still protects you in small ways. But it also makes ordinary moments feel thin, like you're watching life through a screen. Start here, notice. Not to fix anything yet, just to be curious. What does the alarm feel like in your body right now? Where's the tension? How does your breath move when you're waiting for the next thing to go wrong? Naming the sensations, soft, simple words, can loosen their hold. It's not about stopping the alarm. It's about recognizing its shape so it has less mystery and more manageable edges. Try a tiny experiment today. When you catch yourself scanning or bracing, gently pause. Take one longer out breath than usual, like you're sighing the world a little softer. Let your shoulders drop by a notch. This isn't a cure. It's a way to send a mild message to your nervous system. You can check in safely. Repeat it the next time and the next. Small repetitions teach the body new stories. Also look out for small, reliable anchors you can return to, a consistent 5-second breath, a particular chair that feels steady, a person who makes you laugh. The anchors don't erase the alarm. They offer regular data points that the present moment can be okay. Remember, curiosity is kinder than pressure. Ask yourself, with no judgment, what happens if you lower the volume on worry by 1 degree? What changes? What stays the same? Let that curiosity lead you, not to immediate answers, but to noticing patterns. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Share it in the comments. You don't need a tidy story, just your first memory or a feeling. I read them, and in the next video we'll keep walking through this slowly, building more small practices that teach your nervous system a different language. You don't have to fix anything right now. This block isn't about strategies or promises that everything will change overnight. It's an invitation to look closer at the small ways your body has been keeping score. Start by noticing how safety shows up for you, or how it doesn't. Is it the tightness behind your eyes when a message pings? The way your breath shortens before a meeting? The habitual scanning of people, or the route you take home? These aren't failures, they're signals. They're the language your nervous system learned to speak so you could survive stressful times. Once you begin to notice, you can treat those signals like curiosities instead of crises. Name them: tight jaw, racing thoughts, flat stomach. Naming reduces their intensity enough for you to respond with choice rather than reflex. You might try tiny experiments. Breathe into the ribcage for 10 slow counts, or soften your shoulders for 1 minute, or close your eyes and listen to 3 sounds you hadn't noticed before. The point isn't to eradicate the alarm. It's to show your body that small interruptions don't demand full mobilization. This work is slow because nervous systems are stubborn, and for good reason. They kept you safe. Gentle repetition matters more than dramatic efforts. Each small, non-threatening experience rewires expectation. The world can be okay right now. Over time, the constant hum of alertness can quiet enough for you to make clearer choices, to rest without suspicion, to carry warmth rather than constant readiness. You don't need to have the full story of why you stopped feeling safe. Sometimes the moment is fuzzy or buried. The awareness itself is enough to begin. Be kind to the parts that stayed vigilant. They were protecting you. And let yourself be curious about what slowly feels different. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Tell me in the comments, even if you don't have the answer. In the next video, we'll continue this conversation, gently exploring simple practices that help your nervous system remember how to rest. You've carried that quiet alarm for a long time. A low hum under your ribs that tells you to look for danger even when there's none. That's not a failure. It's a living record of what you learned to survive. You adapted. You grew a careful, watchful self that kept you going. That resilience matters. It kept you upright when things were hard. And still, the cost shows up. Clenched jaws, tired shoulders, a mind that won't stop scanning. Calm feels thin or suspicious. Rest can feel risky. That tension is real, and it's okay to name it out loud. Naming it doesn't mean you're breaking. It means you're beginning to pay attention. You don't have to erase the past to find more ease now. Healing isn't a fast fix. It's small, steady rewiring. Noticing when your body jumps to alertness, offering it a different story, letting your breath and attention come back to the present. The nervous system learns through gentle repetition. Each time you practice safety, a practiced breath, a softened jaw, a pause before reacting, you're teaching your body a new language. Right now is safe. If you're worried about looking weak for slowing down, remember this. Choosing safety is another form of strength. It's intentional, not accidental. It's the same determination that kept you prepared, now turned toward tending yourself. Curiosity can be kind here. When did you first notice you stopped feeling safe? Maybe there's a single night, a pattern of days, or just a growing awareness you can't name. If you feel up to it, share that moment in the comments. Not to relive anything painful, but to bring it into light, where it becomes something you can gently work with. I'll be here in the next video. We'll continue this conversation step by step, exploring simple practices to help your nervous system learn safety again. For now, pause, breathe, and let the quiet remind you, you are not alone in this.